Is it starting? Okay, it's recording. Alright, we ready. Let's get this show on the road. What's going on out there, y'all? How y'all doing? What's going on? You know, we want to get this show on the road. Welcome to another episode of The Cage of Life. Welcome to the jungle, the special edition. And today we're going to talk about, we got a special topic that I want to talk about, honestly. Because I've been having a lot of, a lot of different, about this topic, a lot of different opinions about this topic. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I want to talk about. Online dating. Straight up. You know what I'm saying? I want to talk about it, because I used to online date. It was a minute ago, but damn, so when was the last time I online dated? Let me think. 17, 18, 19, 2019. You know what I'm saying? And when I started, it was 2000, maybe 12. And be honest with you, I wasn't a big fan of online dating. You know what I'm saying? Like, I wasn't like, to me it was like, it was like, you know what I mean? Something that you frown upon. You know what I'm saying? Because, I remember, back when I was in high school, we used to do like the party line. You know what I'm saying? For those that may not know what the party line is, it was busted back in the day. You know what I mean? 99, 98, 2000s. You know what I'm saying? The raving, busting. You know what I mean? So you be on the party line basically, and you know what I'm saying? But you just don't know what they look like. So you might get catfished, or you know what I mean? We ain't say catfish back in the day, but you know what I'm saying? It might be, not what you expect. You know what I'm saying? But now you got the online dating thing, and you know what they look like, but they might be crazy. You don't know you still don't know what to expect, because people be capping on online dating, straight up. I think the majority of the women that I met online, most of y'all women online, they be ready. Y'all some little freaks. Like, they be wanting to doodle every time. Most of them. 90% of women that I met online, all they want is the doodle. My eggplants. That's it. That's all they want. And I be like, man, I be trying to be a gentleman now. I take it slow. I'm over 30. You know what I'm saying? I ain't just trying to screw no more. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's why a woman nowadays, a woman just can't get me with sex. You know what I mean? You gotta come with something else. Your intellect. You can't just say, oh, I'm gonna just give you some and that's it. You know what I'm saying? Now, in high school, come out of high school, early 20s, maybe, I'm going. I might be going, but you know what I'm saying? But you kids can't get me with sex, so it don't move me. The sex thing don't even move me no more. So, yeah. But anyway, back to the online dating thing. Yeah, when I was, I don't know, back then, man, I think now it's more common than what it should, I guess. And my thing about the online dating thing is that now you got people, because you got people. It's good and bad about it, because it just makes it for like, I'm more of a traditional person. You know what I'm saying? I'm used to, hey, I may meet you at the grocery store, I may meet you at the gas station, you know what I mean? Or Family Dollar, you know what I mean, somewhere, anywhere, you know what I'm saying? So, versus meet you online, because it's almost like it takes the fun out of chasing the cat. You know what I'm saying? When you online dating, it just takes the fun out of it. You know, I'm used to like not like I'm gonna be like come up on you like yo baby, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, and that's what I miss about it. Nowadays, you just get on this little computer laptop, put in what you're looking for, and your match will pop up. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, she may be a match for you. Like I met some beautiful women. I'm not gonna lie, online. You know, I'm not gonna say they all were like praise, but 90% of them were. You know what I'm saying? And so, yeah. So that's why. And let me just say this. In retrospect, I think. I mean, the ones that were a little, I mean, they was cool, but it's just like, you know, you be having different morals. People have different. There's one chick I met. I think I met her in Mississippi. This chick, she was cool. She came to my house. We met online back in 2015, and she came to my house and everything, kicked it. You know what I'm saying? We went to the movies, to the shows, and all that, and kicked it, right? And then next thing you know, like the next week after, you know, like a week later, she wanted me to move in with her, you know, with my child, and just go to her church, become Christian, all type of stuff. Like she wanted me to, she was ready to start a family in a week. You know what I'm saying? I was just like, hold on, whoa, slow down, baby. Like, first of all, I'm used to my own independence. Like, I got my own house, I own my house, you know what I'm saying? I got my own car, my own job. I don't need, you know what I mean, no woman for that. But, you know, I'm at this point, I'm like, I'm used to just taking it slow. I can admit, even back then, you know, in my early 20s, maybe I was fast. Sure, I'll move a woman in a month. You know what I'm saying? They might just go from there. You know, they come up to my house and like, oh, I like your house. Oh, it's nice. Oh, do you live by yourself and all of this? Yes. Oh, can I move in? You know what I'm saying? No. Well, now I say no. Back then it was like, oh, okay, whatever. You know what I'm saying? So it was like I was always moving so fast. You know, and that was women that I did meet online. You know what I'm saying? But in my opinion, with the online dating, it's ups and downs. Not saying that you can't find love online or, you know what I'm saying, or somebody that's with you, significant other, but in my opinion, it's what you make it. You know, I'm an old school person. You know what I'm saying? I personally don't like the online thing. You know, I tried it only because I had some people that, you know, friends and, you know, relatives and stuff that use the online thing. Maybe it's meeting girls. Like one of my cousins, he probably had 4 or 5 different apps on his phone, and I used to ride around with this man and watch him meet 3 or 4 women in 3 days, and go to their house and screw them, and then go to the next girl house that he met online. So I'm like, okay. And this was probably 3, 4 years ago. But I can't just screw a woman that I meet online. You know, like, I mean, now, you know, I just can't like just pop up and just, well, I can't say it's meet online, but just meet, like, I just can't just screw you. You know what I'm saying? Like, now. It's just like me trying to have sex with a woman. You know what I'm saying? I just can't just sex you. You know what I'm saying? Now, like, shit. Nowadays, I want some affection, tongue kissing. You know what I mean? Just stuff like that. You know, just because I'm not that type of like that. You know, everybody has they. To me, it was more like it was like a phase. You know, like dating white women or interracial relationships. You know what I'm saying? It's a phase. So I think the online thing, it got out of my system because I was just like, okay, I'm finna delete every app I got in my phone, every single app on my phone, delete them. You know what I'm saying? That's it for the online thing. You know what I'm saying? Sorry, y'all. So that's my whole theory on that, because you know, and like I said, I've met some beautiful women online. So, and I met some even beautiful more women not online. You know, worldwide. You know, and I'm talking about different countries. But I think the women that I've met not online, we kind of connected more, maybe. I mean, well, I can't say that. I guess it's like 20%. We kind of connected more a little bit. You know what I'm saying, baby? You know, the majority of the women that I didn't meet online, and then later I saw them on the internet, on Instagram or something like that, social media. It was like, oh, okay, it's not really a shock, well, a little bit, but you know, yeah. It's just a different spiel. You know what I'm saying? Like, so many stories with that. You know what I'm saying? I mean, then again, I met a woman online that I fell in love with at one point. I think it was 2015. You know what I'm saying? We dated for like almost 3 years. You know what I'm saying? I think we fell in love with each other maybe in like 3 months. But that story was crazy because she was married, but she was separated, which is the only reason I dated her. You know what I'm saying? The only reason that I dated her, because she told me she was married, but she was separated. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I said I would never date another one. I don't care if she told me she's married, but she's separated. I'm not dating a woman that says that she's married and separated. Because always problems. You know what I'm saying? It was always something with her. Because she was, I found out later she was, her husband was still in love with her. And I do think she was probably still in love with her husband. You know what I'm saying? Because it was a lot of games with that. So that's why I was just like, I'm not doing it again. To the point where I dated you and then you got your husband, you know, telling me, making threats, saying you wanna do something to me or kill me or something, like, you know what I mean? At this point, I'm not gonna go back and forth with no man, especially over his wife, or even, you know, matter if you're legally separated. That is not. You know, like nowadays, I definitely don't have arguments to argue with no woman. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not gonna argue with no woman. That's just not, or no, not saying, I'm really not gonna argue with nobody. Woman, you know, man, whatever. You know what I'm saying? I'm just, you know, you get to a certain point or age or just period in your life. You know, it doesn't have to do with age. It just be a period. But you just don't want to argue. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm the type of person now, like, I won't even argue with you. I'm like, okay, all right, well, I'll let you. You might not see me for another 8 months, maybe another year or two. You know what I'm saying? Now, you might see me on social media, but that's it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not finna, nah, so like, you know, especially like my wife or girlfriend, I'm just going to leave. You know what I'm saying? Like, you want to argue with me, I'm out the door. I'm gone. You know what I'm saying? I'm not finna be like, yeah, man, yeah, because it's like, I mean, when I was younger, I think I was like that too, but I was more, probably, you know, with more emotional attached. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to dealing with relationships and arguing and busting windows and breaking cars and all that stuff. Yeah, I'm gonna leave that for you 20-year-olds. You know what I'm saying? And y'all 17-year-olds out there, y'all can, yeah, I'm gonna leave that for y'all. Straight up. But yeah, I'm not going to, like, I ain't finna go through that. I'm not, yeah, I'm gonna be out the door. And then when I leave, and I come back and you still on that, I'm gonna leave for 3 days. Cause that's what it tell you in the Quran. You know, Islam say, hey, you know, give your wife, your spouse 3 days. 3 days. If you can't resolve the issue in 3 days, then divorce. You know what I'm saying? Straight up. So yeah, that's pretty much what I am. So, but in most cases with me, my wife know, or any woman I've been with, they know, like, I'm not for drama. You know what I'm saying? And I would say most women that I've been with in the past 15 years, 10, 15 years, you know what I'm saying? I would really say 10 years, you know? You know, I'm not for drama. I don't do the arguing. I'm not going to argue with you. You know what I'm saying? I'm just going to go. But yeah, you know, it's just so that's why I'm speaking on the online thing, because, you know, I wrote a book about it. You know, as you can see, I write books on different things that I experience or go through. I may come up with a story about it. So I chose to write a book about this. It's going to be coming out later this year. You know, I won't reveal the title just yet. You know what I'm saying? But just know this the Petty Show. You can see the shirt. Hold on. Let me see. Stand up, y'all see the shirt. Black, Educated, and Petty. If y'all want these t-shirts, y'all can order them online. Or just hit me up and I'll make sure you get one. $20. $20 a shirt. You know what I'm saying? $20 a shirt. Black, Educated, and Petty. You know why? Because it's the Petty Show. Yeah. This is the Petty Show. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that's what it is, isn't it? And like I said, so my thing, like I said, in some cases, like I said, I've had good experiences dating online, you know. So, like I said, I met some beautiful, down to earth women online. You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of women, most women is not, I guess, I would say this, y'all freaks, y'all freaky, but a lot of y'all online, but they not as sexually active as you think. Yeah. The majority of the women that I met online told me that they haven't had sex in years. You know, the most of them are over 30. I'm gonna just say that. You know what I'm saying? Nobody's old or anything, so don't be offended. But they told me, like, straight up, they haven't had sex in years. So that thing be like this. You know what I'm saying? Like, whoop, you'd be like, damn. Yeah. So now, afterwards, emotions involved, and she just like, oh my God, I love you. You know what I'm saying? For real, that's how it is. But I'd be like, calm down, just relax. relax, you know. Yeah. So yeah. But when I stopped the online thing in what 2018 or 19, somewhere around there, and I just started meeting women normal. Well, went back to meeting women normal. Well, I can't say it went back, but I just stopped the online thing. Like I said, you know what I'm saying? And I think this is because now it makes it. What I don't like about online things is what I don't like about social media. People are so antisocial. You know what I'm saying? And it just makes it. It's like you forgot how to talk to a chick. You know what I mean? You can't be like just. You don't have to spit no game to her. Sure. You might see her at the grocery store. You know what I'm saying? You be like, damn. How much are those eggs? They tripping, you know what I'm saying? Like anything, you know what I mean? But yeah, you know, I think people just it's almost like people lose their confidence on how to talk to people. Because they don't know how to talk to people, you know, anymore. They figure I'm gonna just get online, let me get on Snap. Oh, shorty, oh, she bad. Oh, okay, oh, she shaking that thing. Let me see what's up with her. Well, you know. Yeah, you don't know how to go up to a woman and be like, hey, how you doing, baby? Or you see a woman out there, a woman in distress. You know what I mean? I used to be a sucker for that back in the day. You know what I mean? A sucker. You know, well, they used to say Captain Saver. You know what I'm saying? But like I was always wanting to just help a chick or whatever. Maybe that was just me, you know. But, you know. But, hey. You know what I'm saying? I just think that people need to get back to it. You know, I think in one of my books I wrote about DOA, death for social media, DOS, death for social media. You know what I'm saying? We need to like go back to the old school ways of how we do certain things. You know what I'm saying? Like, cause it just makes it more simpler. You know what I'm saying? You know, I mean, years later, and then you meet your wife, and then 20 years later, and your kids be like, oh, how did y'all meet, by the way? You know what I mean? You know, and you be like, okay, online, you know. But I guess it's okay, but I don't think it's okay. You know what I'm saying? I'll be like, you know, I want to be like, I met her at the store. You know what I'm saying? Or like I met my wife, you know what I mean? I met my wife at the bar on the streets, you know what I'm saying? At the same time, like, what's up? You know, like that tip, you know what I mean? But yeah, or if I meet you at the grocery store, you know what I mean? Anything, you know what I'm saying? So I guess now, like even afterward, like I said, when I see her online and she online and she just like if you meet somebody that's you meet them on the streets and then you see them online later, like oh, okay, you got a whole different world, you know what I'm saying? But if you meet them on the streets first, you already know what to expect. You know, you see them online and she's shaking that thing, you know what I'm saying? It's not shocking. You know what I'm saying? But I guess if you meet them online, they already shaking that thing. So when you see them in person, they still shaking it. You know what I'm saying? That's bad. So, like I said, I'm not a fan of it, but I get it. You know what I mean? I got children that's 20. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, and they be like, I know they online on social media doing stuff and, you know, meeting everybody on Snap and Facebook and all that. Cool. You know what I mean? But I was just going to stick to my traditional see you in the grocery store, see you at the oil change place. What's up, baby? How you doing? What's you changing the tires? Okay. Damn. you know what, you should go over here and do. It's a place around the corner. They shut their way cheaper. You know, yeah, you know that type of conversation. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that's just my theory, man. People need to get back to that, man, for real. You know, because in retrospect, like I said, when I used to be, when I used to talk to chicks off the party line when I was in high school back in the day, you know, I guess the only difference is like, you know, of course, on the party line, you don't know how they look. They just on the phone. You just talk like, oh, okay, woo, 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 woo. Oh, yeah, where you at? Oh, okay, cool, woo. You know, then you get over there, it's something different. Crazy story. I think it was my 17th birthday, and I met this chick on the party line. Back then, it was the party line. You call them on the phone. And I was so tipsy off. Back then, I was drinking Hennessy. I got so wasted. And my cousin dropped me off over this chick house. You know what I'm saying? I get up in the crib, I get up in the house, and I'm like, I knocked on the door. And she's like, yeah, it's open. I open the door, I go in, it's pitch black. So then I'm thinking like, this chick trying to set me up. You know what I'm saying? My street sense kicking in, even though I'm drunk and high. I get in there, and she's like, I'll just come in. So I go in, and it's pitch black. I'm bracing myself. I'm waiting for the dudes to come out. I'm like, man, all she got. She rolls out in a wheelchair. She's like, what's up? I'm like, what? It caught me off guard, because I was like, whoa, I'm like, am I bugging? I'm like, you in a wheel? You know what I'm saying? She's like, oh, it's all good. She's like, what's up? Woo, woo, woo. I'm like, shocked. You know what I'm saying? Because I met this chick on the party line. So I didn't know she was in a wheelchair. She never told me. In retrospect, so I was like, man, you know, man. So I was like, you know what? I'm here. I ain't got no ride. I might as well just chill. You know what I mean? Because if I had a car, I probably would have been gone. I ain't had no ride. My cousin dropped me off, and I was tipsy. I'm like, I might go out, get robbed, anything. So we ended up chilling, and that was the first time I had sex with a girl in a wheelchair. You know what I'm saying? And it was like, and everybody was asking me. And then I ended up telling everybody about it. The next day, I told my cousin and told him not to tell nobody. And he turned around and told everybody. You know what I'm saying? And that was the first time, and I was like, wow. So I was real shocked about that. So I think if I would have saw her online, I probably would have known. But then again, maybe not. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. But she probably would have catfished me or something. But, you know, crazy. That was a crazy little situation. You know. Yeah, I had sex with a girl in a wheelchair. Which I did. I think I wrote about that in one of my books. Maybe two of my books. But, yeah. So in retrospect, I guess. But, yeah. Blind dates. I guess that was a real blind date. Even though we talked on the phone, but yeah. So that was something right there. That was something that I would, yeah, not do again. But yeah. In most cases, like I said, most chicks I met, either online or on the party line, all they wanted was the doodle. That's it. All y'all wanted was sex, sex. That's it. That's all y'all wanted. You know what I'm saying? Straight up. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't most 90% of women I met online. Yeah, 90% of women. Straight up. But yeah, man, y'all something else, man. That's why I said. But like I said, to the ones that do it, more power to y'all. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Another thing I want to talk about while I'm on this topic is internet stalkers. Internet stalkers. And I think it goes in here with online dating. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know what I'm saying? You know, it's not necessarily involving with women. You know, there's dudes, men out there that stalk you. It's relatives that stalk you. It's, you know, they got that evil eye to be watching you. You know what I'm saying? Online, you know, you got people that watch you all day on social. You know, the ones that watch you on social media, they watch your stories, but they never like nothing. They never like nothing. They never engage, but they just like to watch you, just to see what you're doing, to see if you'll fall off. You know what I mean? To see if, you know, just to see if, you know, if you still busting. You know what I'm saying? To see if you still lit. You know? Yeah. So, and which is cool, but a lot of people I don't like. Sometimes I don't mad it, but like people that I used to know and just think they still know me, no matter if they relatives or whatever, or old friends who I haven't seen in 20 years. Sometimes I don't even want you watching me. You know what I mean? I don't like the creepiness, you know, because that evil eye is real. You know what I'm saying? And I don't like people like you'll watch me on my stories, or when I post something. You know what I'm saying? You don't engage, you don't comment, you don't say anything. It's creepy. You know what I mean? So what I be doing, I be blocking y'all. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't like you watching. And then when I block y'all, some of y'all come back with fake pages. You know what I'm saying? Y'all be following me from another page or whatever. I'm blocking them pages too. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, because it's like, you don't like me, but why you study watching me? To see if I'm still lit. Yeah, I'm lit. I'll forever be lit. You know what I'm saying? You're not going to stop this shine. My spirit is too high for me to fall or be down. Straight up. That's a bar. Yeah. Nah, straight up. But yeah, seriously. You know, so, you know what I mean? So I don't, you know, even like old girlfriends, it's almost like an old girlfriend, the ones that follow your page and want to watch your page. You know what I mean? Just cause that's stalking. You know what I'm saying? Especially when I had women that actually stalked me. You know what I mean? For 5 years and 2 years, to the point where I had to move, coming to my house, coming to my job. You know what I'm saying? Stalking me while I'm married. You know what I mean? To the point where I have to go see a counselor to get over, to figure out why I got this woman stalking me. You know what I'm saying? Why she coming to my job? Why she following me on all my social media? You know what I mean? Yeah. Nobody likes internet stalkers. You know what I'm saying? Straight up. Nobody likes that. So y'all need to just bring that down a little bit. Bring that down. Calm that down. Straight up. You know what I mean? I guess it is a crime, internet stalking. But they need to crack down on that a little more because, you know, clearly people are still doing it. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not cool. You can never, ever, a woman ever tell you I stalked them online. You know what I'm saying? Ever. Or stalk them, period. You know what I'm saying? And I know women, I met beautiful women all over the world. You know what I'm saying? Met their mothers, fathers, sister, brothers, you know, their whole family. But they'll never say that I stalked them or attempted to stalk them after the relationship or before the relationship. You know what I'm saying? Cause I don't get down like that. Straight up. And it's not lit. It's not cool, y'all. So stop internet stalking, man. Straight up. You know what I'm saying? People be out here like, man, you know, and you gonna think they watching you, but they be watching you. Yeah, like they be straight up watching you. You be like, damn, you know. Especially what's creepy is the ones that you met online and then they stalk you. You know what I'm saying? Afterward, you met them online and then they stalk you online. You know what I'm saying? Like, that is creepy. You know what I'm saying? I remember I dated this one chick, man, and she just used to beg for me to give me to put me on her account. Like she wanted to like follow me on social media. And I was like, no. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't want to even mix that only because you gotta beg me to follow you, for me to follow you or let you follow me on social media. No. You know what I'm saying? I don't even want to even entertain that. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Now, well, my wife is different because I'd be like, oh, okay. You know what I'm saying? That's cool. You my wife. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to hide anything from you. First of all, I'm not hiding anything from anyone. But for I don't know, it's just different, and it's just weird. You know what I'm saying? So, in my opinion, man, people just need to like just stop it, relax, calm down, stop doing all that extra stalking, all that, because what y'all be doing? Let me see. Okay. What y'all be doing, man? Y'all just be, it's unattractive. You know what I'm saying? Because y'all think like when you stalk to somebody, you think that it's gonna make you just give in. You know what I'm saying? And it's really just gonna push you away. Now, man, I may have dated a few, maybe 2 or 3 women that stalked me, and eventually we dated for maybe 6 months. But then after that, I was tired of her because I was just like, we just didn't have nothing in common, or you know what I'm saying? It was something that it just wasn't working. It was characteristics, anything, and I just got tired of it. I was like, nah, I can't do it. You know what I'm saying? That's okay. Call it what it is. But then I left that alone. But in my opinion, I don't think it's not a healthy thing. You know, stalking can be any forms. You sit at home on your bed at night and laying back on your phone, like, let me see what Whoopty Whoop doing, what Whoop doing, whoop, check this out. Whoop, damn, okay. Oh, they in Dubai right now. Oh, okay, they in Nigeria. Oh, okay, whoop. You know what I mean? Straight up stalking every day, and you do it at least 3-4 times a week. You stalking. You straight up stalking. Straight up. So that's not cool. That's gonna be in my book too. I'm gonna talk about that. It's in the book. It's coming out. I ain't gonna reveal the title yet, but it's coming out this year. I'm writing a whole book about it. Online dating and stalkers. Stalkers. Yeah. Straight up. Straight up. I don't think men can be stalked or have anxiety from being stalked. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, man, and I think my problem was too, and is, you know, like Rick Ross said, make a sweet love to every woman that you lust. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm always that guy, you know what I mean? It's always every woman. Like one chick told me, she said, it was a minute ago, she said, I think we was having sex, we was done, she was just like, damn, I see why that old girl stalked you. Oh, you be putting it down, woo, 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 woo. You know, and all that. I'm like, man, oh yeah, no. You know, we can still put it down and all that, but damn. At the end of the day, we still grown. You know what I'm saying? Between a man and a woman, we still grown. You know, it's a fair exchange. You know what I'm saying? Fair exchange. That's all. No need for stalking. You know what I mean? No need for that. So, ladies and men, gentlemen, stop the stalking. Stop the internet stalking. Stop the physical stalking. What was this? Yeah, just kill that noise. Okay, sorry, y'all. But yeah. So, yeah, that's all I want to say about that, man, because people just need to finito. All right, y'all.